Hello aspirants, wishing you all a very happy new year. Starting with current affairs for 2018. Presently you are looking at 6 Jan 2018 current affairs. I apologize that I have not been able to upload current affairs for last few days, and the reason for that is that I am actually on a vacation in UK. I'll be returning to India on 9th, and from 10th onwards we would be resuming current affairs on a daily basis and also in Hindi. Presently I am doing only the English current affairs. I am very grateful that the comments were encouraging. They were demanding me to resume current affairs lectures. I did not receive a single hatred filled current comments as is a norm on social media. So I'm really grateful for that. And I'm resuming with current affairs. I'll be doing 6th Jan and going up to 1st if possible. I had expected that I would be able to do current affairs even being abroad, but it didn't work out that way. I have been doing the current affairs and uploading the PDFs on a daily basis, but the videos I'm resuming from today, at least trying to cover up what we have missed out. So looking at 6 Jan current affairs, the news items picked up from the Hindu newspaper are these 9. We'll look at them in detail. The first one, Trump regime suspends security aid to Pakistan. So the US has said that it is suspending most of its security assistance to Pakistan. Remember, the word is suspending, means it is delaying the payment. The final decision will be taken later. It has not eventually been denied, but it may be. And the reason for this is that USA President Donald Trump also had recently said in a tweet that Pakistan is not taking sufficient action against the terror groups, and these terror groups attack US forces. So US wants Pakistan to take decisive action against terror groups prevalent in Afghanistan. So these are Afghan Taliban and Haqqani network, some of the terror groups which have been named. So there is a need for taking decisive action by Pakistan against them for this assistance to resume. There are two payments which are made actually. Both have been suspended. So this is one is by US State Department foreign military financing which is done to Pakistan, and also another is under the coalition support fund, which is reimbursement done by Pentagon of USA to Pakistan for its logistic support in Afghanistan war. So these two payments have been suspended. There is no official figure, but it is said to exceed $1 billion. And this does not include civilian assistance. The civilian assistance programs will continue. This is there. Then the next news item is GDP growth seen slowing to 4-year low of 6.5% in 2017-18. So this is regarding the CSO forecast that GDP growth in current financial year ending March 31 will slow down to a 4-year low of 6.5%. The provisional value for 2016-17 was 7.1%. So from there it will come down to 6.5%. So this deceleration is mainly because of deceleration in agriculture and manufacturing sector. So this is the GDP data. You should know there are two terms, GDP and GPA. What are these and what is the difference? We have seen every month actually when it comes up in news at the start of the month. So we'll have a look at it once again. You can see what is GDP, gross domestic product. So there are two terms actually, GDP and GNP. So gross domestic product, GDP, is the market value of all final goods and services produced within, generally it's a year, within one period of time. So GDP, annual GDP, is what we are looking at. So from all market value of all final goods and services produced within a year by factors of production located within the country. So these are domestic, within the domestic boundary, geographical boundary of the country. GNP is gross national product. So here GNP actually includes factor payments from abroad. Means there are Indians residing abroad sending payment in the country, remittances, etc. So all that profits from abroad are included in GNP, but not in GDP. And same thing, it will be net factor payments from abroad because payments done by foreign nationals within the country are deducted. So GDP is actually within the geographic boundary and GNP is by nationals of the country, only by the nationals of the country, wherever they may be geographically. So this is GDP. The other term GVA, which has become a norm presently being used. So GVA is GDP minus taxes plus subsidies. So actually what GVA denotes is value addition only. Means when there are taxes, because what we saw GDP is market value. So market value also includes taxes. So taxes are not contributing to value addition. That is not something which is money put into production. So taxes are deducted, and subsidies which government provides for actually the effort put in, money put in production or services. So that aspect, subsidies, is added up and taxes are deducted. So GDP minus taxes plus subsidies will give you GVA, gross value added. So this is there. Then there are also prefixes, nominal and real, which are used by both GDP, GNP, GVA in all such terminologies. Nominal is always at current prices. So here no allowance is made for inflation, because of inflation prices may go high or low. So nominal GVA or nominal GDP is at current prices without making any allowance for inflation. And real GDP or real GVA is at constant prices. So a base year is taken at constant prices. So here inflation is taken into consideration. So these are the terminologies. And present news, we'll go through it once again. So here we were. So GVA also has gone down and GDP has also gone down. So GDP, as it is forecasted to be at 6.5% for present financial year, which will end in March and on March 31st. And GVA was also projected to expand by 6.1%, but it has slowed down. It has been expanded by 6.6%, but it has slowed down to 6.1%. So instead of 7.1, GDP is at 6.5, and instead of 6.6, GVA is at 6.1. So this is there. So GVA growth rate for agriculture, forestry and fishing is also slowing down sharply to 2.1%. Previous year's value was 4.9%. So this is also said to be because of a base effect, because agriculture saw a very good growth previous year, because that was very high growth which followed 2 years of drought. So previous 2 years were of drought, and 2016-17 was a good year for agriculture. So because of that base effect going very low, so when you see percentage increase, it has been quite high. So 4.9% was last year's figure, but for 2017-18 it has come to 2.1%. So this is because last year it was so good, so it couldn't have been increase, couldn't have been much because of that. So this is also given as a reason for agriculture figures going down, and also manufacturing has gone down. So this is there. Here you can see the data provided, the CSO estimates for 2017-18 for both GDP and GVA. So these were 2016-17 figures, compared to which we have gone down. Then next is Tamil Nadu tops GER in higher education. So Tamil Nadu has emerged as a leader in the country in terms of gross enrollment ratio. So gross enrollment ratio in higher education, an All India survey has been conducted for 2016-17, and this has been released by Ministry of Human Resource Development, and Tamil Nadu is said to be leading in this. The gross enrollment ratio here is of 46.9%. So among union territories, the highest value is 56.1% in Chandigarh, and also Delhi goes high. Apart from these two union territories, even in terms of female GER, it is 45.6% in Tamil Nadu, in which amongst the state again it leads, and even among men the Tamil Nadu state leads with 48.2%, which is following Chandigarh and Delhi. So if you look at overall, Chandigarh is having the highest GER figures, but in states Tamil Nadu is the one which has the highest GER figures. Also it has the highest GER figures for scheduled castes as well. So this is the gross enrollment ratio in higher education shown here. So this is the figure, the overall value for the country, and also in terms of males and females. Then next is Constitution bench to decide validity of criminalizing adultery. So this is an old news which we have already discussed in the previous month. So Supreme Court has already referred to a constitution bench a petition to decide if pre-independence provision of adultery in the Indian Penal Code. So this is IPC section 497, which deals with adultery. So the adultery law actually has a criminal offense provision under it. So if a man has sexual intercourse with another's wife without the husband's consent, then he is guilty of the offense of adultery and is punished. So it's a criminal offense and there's punishment for it. But then there are concerns here raised, which have been raised earlier too, but earlier Supreme Court decisions have upheld this section 497, but now the Constitution bench is being referred to this, in which it will answer two basic questions. So basically the question is that why only the man is guilty? Why is not the woman? And also why, if the husband has given consent, the man cannot be held guilty? Means, is woman a property of the husband, that if husband gives consent then she can, and it's not her will, even if she has done it with her will, it's an offense. So these are the questions being raised. So the Supreme Court has also said that it's time to reconsider the past decisions as such since 1954 onwards, which Supreme Court has taken time and again on this adultery law. So even a question is there that similar right is not given to a wife. If her husband is committing adultery, then she cannot take action against him. So this is also a question being raised. So this is about rights, equal rights for men and women. So you can see the two basic questions which will be put forth before the Constitution bench is that why this section treats the man as the adulterer and the married woman as a victim, number one. And second is that if the husband consent is established, that why is it not adultery? So is married woman a property of the husband, a passive object without a mind of her own? So these questions will be answered by the Supreme Court constitutional bench now. The next is no marked change in health of Delhiites post cracker ban. So this is regarding the Supreme Court order in October 2017 in which suspended the sale of firecrackers in Delhi NCR. So till November 1, the suspension was in place. So this was to test whether Deepavali without firecrackers would have a positive effect on the health of Delhiites or not. So actually the Central Pollution Control Board has done a study and has submitted its report to the Supreme Court in which says there is no marked relief because of this initiative. But also you should know that only the ban was on sale of firecrackers, not on bursting of firecrackers. So this is an important point. So Supreme Court had taken such a decision earlier in November 2016 too, and then it was not implemented, but then again November 2017 it brought in that same decision as such. So this is the study. Actually it said that air quality worsened post Deepavali, but then the conditions, the health condition as such did not see any significant difference. So it also said there was increase in barium and strontium samples in the urine of random samples which were collected. So these are metals which are used in firecracker manufacturing. But then again it is said that it may be because of firecracker bursting that these samples have been found. And also it has said there is a need for a long-term study because this was a short-term, for particular duration the study has been done. So to understand the actual impact of firecrackers on humans health as system as such, a long-term study is required, has also been hinted in this report by Central Pollution Control Board. Then next is, come July, label mandatory for food certified as organic. So the government has now come up with a notification in which it says, this is notification by FSSAI, which is Food Safety and Standards Authority of India. So this notification regulation requires food companies selling organic products to get certified with one of the two authorities. So these are NPOP, National Program for Organic Production, and Participatory Guarantee System for India, PGS India. So either of the two authorities can be approached for certification of organic food. So also a voluntary logo from FSSAI can also be acquired. So this will marking the product organic. Otherwise, organic products cannot be sold. So it will become illegal to sell organic food without appropriate label from July 2018 onwards. So this certification is essential in addition to the organic logo of FSSAI. So the details are also provided here. You can go through it. So organic farming is catching up in India. You can see 1.5 million hectares of cultivable land is certified under National Program for Organic Production in 2015-16. So these certified organic products are produced. Actually certification was done, but it was on a voluntary basis, but now it has become mandatory. You cannot sell without certification. So you can see organic farming catching up, but only 1.7% of India's cultivated area presently is under organic farming. So organic products can be fruits, vegetables, fiber, even animal products sourced or grown in an environment free from chemical pesticides, fertilizers, So these are also included. So how can you identify an organic product? You should look for the logo from FSSAI. It has launched this new logo which has been introduced. This is Jivik Bharat. So this is the logo here you can see, which shows that it is an organic product. Then next is lawmakers oppose H-1B curve plan. So US lawmakers and advocacy groups are criticizing President Donald Trump's action that it is planning to curb H-1B visa extension. So this H-1B visa extension, if it is curbed, it will result in self-deportation of around 5 lakh to 7 lakh 50,000 Indian Americans. So this will drain US of talent is what has been alleged. So President Donald Trump, he has his plan of buy American, hire American. So this is what he is endorsing. This was his poll agenda too. So this H-1B program, which provides temporary visa so that companies in USA can hire highly skilled foreign professionals to work in areas where there's shortage of American workers. So there's no logic behind reduction in these H-1B visa extensions, because then USA itself would suffer, the US economy would suffer. But this is what is being reported. There are plans to curb these extensions. Then next is lenders to pay depositors higher rates. So banks, even commercial banks, they have, after a gap of 3 years, decided to increase fixed deposit rates for their retail customers. So year-on-year deposit growth actually has slowed down to 4% according to RBI data, and also credit growth is rising. So there is a need for bringing in higher rates for fixed deposits. Banks are taking initiatives in this direction because again RBI, it sees inflation as a concern. That is why repo rates are changed, the key interest rates are changed, but it is expected that RBI is not going to have any further reduction in interest rates or even an increase in interest rates anytime soon. That is why banks are also increasing the interest which they pay on fixed deposits now. So this is there. Then next is rural BPO scheme. Women form 40% of added headcount. So this is regarding the India BPO promotion scheme, which has been launched under Digital India program in 2016. So this India BPO promotion scheme, the bidding which has been done for them, so this is going to operate in tier 2 and tier 3 cities in the country. This will incentivize BPO firms if they are providing employment to the people. So here so far it is said that 11,000 people across the country have been employed, of which 40% are women. So this works on a 3-shift strategy basis. So an outlay of 500 crores rupees has been provided for this India BPO promotion scheme, under which it is targeted that 48,300 seats would be provided. Means 1.45 lakh, 3 times the number of jobs would be created, because it will be under a 3-shift strategy. And there are special incentives to BPO firms who are providing employment to women, differently abled population, and also who are generating employment beyond the target. So here you can see 4 rounds of bidding have already taken place and seats have been allocated, and this is the positive response which has been received. So many companies like Amazon Development Center India, AGS Health, etc., providing voice, non-voice services in about 16 languages. So these BPO jobs which are generated are providing employment, especially to women. 40% employment has been given to women is of significance. So around 61 cities in 21 states and union territories have been covered under this scheme so far. So here you can see the details of this scheme, India BPO promotion scheme, launched under Digital India program in April 2016. The details provided. So it's for employment generation. So here you can see, as such, the financial support and the special incentives for promoting local entrepreneurs, women, differently abled, etc. is being shown. So these are the news items. Thank you.